part of this land that I really love is that it feels so classic Disney. In my opinion, this project is the most classic thing that they've done since New Fantasyland opened at Magic Kingdom. And just the fact that this land has such a fantastic balance of those thrills, like you're going to get on Indiana Jones with all the new technology and animatronics and storyline, but then you have the carousel and Encanto and a new play area. So there's a lot of really solid offerings coming here for children, especially Animal Kingdom, which desperately needs this capacity and something new and exciting to get people into the park. And I just really hope that the park stays open at nighttime. I think the fact that Animal Kingdom, it's such a beautiful, jaw-dropping park with so much artistic beauty, but it closes at 6 p.m. And I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, let's get the park open at night. In this land, it's going to thrive at nighttime. So we're going to have to wait a little bit, but 2027, it's going to be beautiful to be at that park at nighttime.
Between the tropical Americas and Pandora, to be able to actually kind of get to appreciate that at night, that would be a game changer for sure. Some things to look forward to. We are out of time here on Florida Live today. We appreciate you joining us. I'll give you this live look from our camera along I-Drive in the tourist district of Orlando. You can see a lot of clouds, but not raining right now. A little bit drier today than we saw yesterday. Thanks for joining us on Florida Live. We'll be back here at 2 o'clock tomorrow with more Florida Live right here live on Fox Local.
You're watching Fox 35 News Plus, streaming on Fox Local.
Well, good afternoon to you and welcome into Fox 35 News Plus. I'm Garrett Wymer and thanks for joining us on this Wednesday afternoon, live on Fox Local and on YouTube. I want to let you know something we're monitoring at this hour, a sea turtle release any minute now. This is at Howard E. Futch Memorial Park at Paradise Beach in Melbourne. We're expecting the release of a 230-pound loggerhead turtle named June Cleaver. You may have seen some of our previous coverage about June. She has been at the Brevard Zoo's Sea Turtle Healing Center and is ready to go back to her native habitat. So they're getting ready for that release any minute now, and we will bring that to you when it begins. It is almost 4:01 now. That means it's time for today's Top 4 at 4, where we break down 4 of the big stories that we are tracking in the Fox 35 newsroom today. And joining me for today's Top 4 at 4 is Fox 35 news anchor and reporter Marlisa Goldsmith. Marlisa, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Garrett.
We've got a lot. It's been a busy day.
Yes.
There's been a lot happening, not just here, but also in Washington, D.C., it seems like. One of the big things today was this news conference outside the U.S. Capitol where we heard from a number of Epstein abuse survivors.
Yes. Those survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's sexual abuse say that they're going to be making their own list of high-profile people in Epstein's circle who played a role in abusing and trafficking young girls. So big news here, 10 of Jeffrey Epstein's victims, they spoke out publicly, as you just mentioned, for the first time today at a press conference that was held on Capitol Hill. The women pleaded for Congress to take action and force the Justice Department to release all of its files related to Epstein and his longtime partner, Ghislaine Maxwell. A House committee released more than 33,000 pages of files on Tuesday night, but most, if not all, of the information was reportedly already known. So very interesting, big news here, and big for these victims to come forward and release this information.
And you talk about them potentially wanting to release their own client list. Here is what one of those survivors who spoke today said about that.
Congress must choose. Will you continue to protect predators, or will you finally protect survivors? And also, I would like to announce here today, us Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list. We know the names. Many of us were abused by them. Now, together as survivors, we will confidentially compile the names we all know who were regularly in the Epstein world. And it will be done by survivors and for survivors. No one else is involved. Stay tuned for more details.
There were a lot of people who spoke today, even more who were kind of there to show their solidarity,
Right.
who didn't speak, but certainly a emotional testimony from some of them to hear them share their stories of what happened.
Yeah, very much so.
Our second story today, and that is Governor DeSantis holding a news conference in Hillsborough County where he announced the creation of a Florida MAHA Commission and also announcing plans to eliminate school vaccine requirements.
Yeah, huge medical news made by the governor today. Governor Ron DeSantis and Florida Surgeon General Dr. Joseph Ladapo, they made a pair of announcements today. The governor said that Florida is establishing its own, as you said, MAHA, which is Make America Healthy Again, commission at the state level. This is going to resemble what they're doing at the federal level. The commission is designed to follow specific principles, including informed consent and parental rights, along with promoting things like clean, nutritious, and healthy food. Dr. Ladapo also announced that the Florida Department of Health is going to be working with the governor to end all vaccine mandates in the state, which we know has been a huge topic of conversation over the last, I'd say, year plus here in the state of Florida, Garrett, when it comes to the lead doctor and the governor and what other doctors have to say. So still continues to be a big topic of conversation.
And one of the big pushes, one of the big reasons for this, according to Dr. Ladapo, who you see there, and Governor DeSantis earlier today, their big focus was on medical freedom. And here is a little bit of what Dr. Ladapo said about that.
So it's not to say that the world is perfect, but it is to say if we want to move toward a perfect world, a better world, you can't do it by enslaving people in terrible philosophies and taking away people's freedoms. That's not the path. That's not the path. We have to find alternative pathways.
So I know Fox 35's Randy Hildreth has been looking into this, and we'll check in with her in a little bit. Our third story of today, and that is another name in the ring for the governor's race, another Republican this time. This is an interesting announcement today.
Yes, very much so. So in a post on the platform X, former State House Speaker Paul Renner announced his intent today to run in the 2026 Florida governor race. Now, current Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is term limited to remind everyone, so he's not able to seek re-election to a third consecutive term. Now, Renner is the first prominent Republican candidate to face off against President Donald Trump's endorsed pick, who we've mentioned on this show. How long ago now?
It's been a while.
It's been months.
Yes, it has.
A Republican, Byron Donalds. So Renner was raised on the First Coast. Just to give you a little background about him, he graduated from Davidson College, joined the U.S. Navy. He attended law school at the University of Florida, returned to public service as a state prosecutor, and now he lives with his wife in Palm Coast.
And he was an ally of Governor DeSantis's when he was the Speaker of the House. So interesting to hear Governor DeSantis say that he will not be supporting him and that he thinks it's ill-advised for him to enter the race. Meanwhile, Marlisa, we were talking about this coming into the show. There's a look at June Cleaver, who the 230-pound loggerhead sea turtle who is getting ready to be released back into the Atlantic Ocean. And this is always so cool to see, I think, and look at just the big crowd out there of folks there to see and kind of celebrate this moment together.
Right. Because I feel like a lot of us who have been living here in Florida for a little bit, we know about these type of releases, but imagine being a visitor. I mean, to get a front row view to this, look at them releasing the turtle right now.
Oh, it's so sweet. This is June. She arrived at the Brevard Zoo's Sea Turtle Healing Center a couple of months ago. They said she had a boat strike wound. She ended up recovering well, though, laid 113 eggs in the healing center pool. Those are still incubating in the sand right now, and look, seems very eager to get back home. But heartwarming always, I think, to see these. We also hear from the Brevard Zoo that she was apparently pretty picky about her food tastes. Her favorite food, they said, was squid, and they would actually have to stuff those with shrimp to get her to eat things other than squid.
Goodness.
So June Cleaver with a little bit of attitude.
I was going to say a
like
bougie little turtle, isn't she?
Bougie and now back home,
Yes,
just like
good
that.
for her.
Yeah, we love to see that. And story number 4 here today as we wrap up our top 4 at 4. Hard to believe to say it. eBay is 30 years old.
I can't even believe this because for some reason I feel like eBay was created after I was born. So the fact that eBay is younger than me, that was hard to read today, Garrett.
Right,
So,
yes, I'm sure. I was very quickly doing math and then gave up.
Yeah. So eBay turned 30 this year, marking 3 whole decades as a global consumer-to-consumer online marketplace or auction site, if you will. The platform, again founded in 1995, really revolutionized how we buy and sell from each other, making it possible for just about anything you could imagine to be listed and purchased for a price online. The site really has seen just about anything. I mean, we're talking everything from a ghost town and warships to a half-eaten slice of toast belonging to a celebrity and a chicken nugget selling for amounts you wouldn't even believe, Garrett. These bizarre sales really show the cultural impact that the site has had on us in internet history.
Do you have any good eBay purchases or sellings over the years?
I hope that my mom is not listening today because when I was in middle school, my mom actually thought she was purchasing an iPod for me back when it was cool to walk around with an iPod. Well, they were really expensive at this time.
They were, yeah.
So my mom went onto eBay and purchased what she thought she was getting an iPod. It was not an iPod. The device came. It was some sort of musical contraption. The device came. It was in all like Mandarin, which neither of us can read. And when I figured out how to press play, it was country music, loaded with all country music on it. I love me some country music, but I couldn't figure out how to get anything else on there. And all my mom could say was, "Don't tell your dad. Do not tell your dad." So that's my eBay story.
Do you still have this by any chance?
I don't.
It's
It's
disappointing.
someone's garbage.
I don't know. Maybe someone figured out how to use it. Maybe they're still jamming out to those same country tunes all these years later. You never know.
I felt so bad. And to make matters worse is that we emailed the seller and they had the nerve to write back to her and ask, "Are you embarrassed?"
Oh, so
Can you believe that? Now imagine if we were living down in Volusia County and we had Sheriff Chitwood on our side back then.
Yeah.
Ooh, they would be in trouble.
they would. He would greet him at the airport and everything.
And we'd be right there.
That's
saying,
right.
"Now who's embarrassed?"
Well, Marlisa, we
boy.
appreciate you joining us for our top 4 at 4. That is a good tease because we will have more from Sheriff Chitwood later in the show. Marlisa, thanks for joining us. We're going to take a quick break and
Sorry,
we'll be right
Mom.
back. That's a great song.
Oh my God.
You're watching Fox 35 News Plus, streaming on Fox Local.
Well, Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Laurel Blanchard joins me now live inside our streaming studio, and thanks for coming over into our territory today. Nice to have you here in person.
Happy to be here.
And we've got a lot to talk about with the weather. I know there's been a lot of focus on the tropics because we're getting closer to that kind of peak season when it comes to that, and seeing more activity bubbling up and a lot of eyes on what's going to become Gabrielle.
Yes, so we're going to be really much focusing in on that because right now we're keeping an eye on this 80% chance of development across the central part of the Atlantic, and it's in this zone in particular where we could be seeing a lot more activity coming up towards the middle and end of September. September is kind of like that not only peak month, but things really start to ramp up. Even though we're kind of on like the downslope of everything, we still have a lot of activity to go before we can finally breathe that sigh of relief. But that 80% chance across the central part of the Atlantic. This is the National Hurricane Center 2 p.m. update, and we can see right here that little cluster of thunderstorms that we can see just off the coast of Africa. It's a disorganized system right now. It's going to continue to make its way westward. It's kind of old news, but right now we're keeping an eye on the possibility of a tropical depression being issued late in the week or by this weekend, and the next name on the list is Gabrielle. Most likely this is going to reach that tropical storm strength. It's a little bit up in the air of when we could be seeing that officially get declared. So we're going to be seeing a couple of hurricane missions be developed as this storm does start to get a little bit closer. But right now, this is going to continue to make its way westward. Still a little bit unsure of the track, but again, this is where we are in the season, right at the start of September, and September 10th, that is the peak of hurricane season, and that's usually when we start to see that activity really start to ramp up. So it's kind of over the hill, but it's not on the downslope, because as we take a look, this is from last year, or this is within the next 2 weeks. So National Hurricane Center takes us a look at the next 7 days, and when we take a look even further, that's when the Climate Prediction Center kind of takes over. And over the next 2 weeks, we could be seeing the possibility of some activity near the Caribbean, and we could also be seeing some possible activity just off the west coast of Africa. And that even gets amped up even a little bit more, taking a look towards the end of September. So this is September 17th to the 23rd. We could be seeing a likely possibility of some more activity brewing across the tropics. And yeah, there we go. This is from last year. So this was last year's season. And as we take a look right at the middle of September, right where you can see that September label right there, that's when we really saw the season really activate. And we can see it was just one storm after another. And that basically lasted until the middle of November when we had our last tropical system of Sarah this time last year. So of course, season starts off small, and then once we really start to ramp up, it's kind of open season from there. So that's something that we're really going to be looking at as we take a look through the rest of hurricane season, but really specifically in September. Yeah,
this is just that time where it really just starts to ramp up, and so we've been talking about it as things had kind of been slow. Don't take that for granted. We're not out of the clear. We still have a long way to go when it comes to this hurricane season. I think we're starting to kind of see the the makings of that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the best advice that I can give is, now that it's still quiet, just make sure you are just topping off your emergency kits. That's what I did for my Labor Day weekend. When I went grocery shopping, grabbed an extra case of water, grabbed an extra gallon of water, grabbed non-perishable foods. Just kind of like make sure you're ahead of the game. So when we're kind of on like that last minute, hey, we're actively tracking this next storm, you're ahead of the game and you're not kind of in that grocery store rush or that hardware store rush. That's the best thing that I can give right now. Yeah, it's a lot easier to do it as grabbing a couple extra things every time you go to the grocery store than when everyone is kind of focused on that. Some things may sell out, and then you're also trying to take those preparations to get your house ready, if we need to. So a lot easier to make those preparations at the grocery store, that kind of thing now. Because I did not do that last year, and I was definitely a little bit less prepared than I would have liked personally. So you're in a much better spot. Let's hope that we don't need to kind of be that prepared, but you gotta take those steps just in case. Exactly. And it's like, listen, if nothing does come towards Florida, I'm already prepped for next year. That's kind of like how I'm thinking of everything right now. There you go. One step ahead no matter what happens. One step ahead. Now let's talk about tonight, because there is the chance of some storms popping up. here?
Couple of storms. Luckily, though, we saw the majority of that moisture kind of push out yesterday. We saw some drier air get pushed in. So the majority of areas across the region going to be staying dry. But of course, as we take a look outside right now, seeing a couple of very, very, very scattered showers over downtown Orlando. Here is the radar. Most of those storms going to be popping up right along the I-4 corridor between now and about 6 p.m. These are going to be moving south. So as we do take a look, areas especially across Titusville, Cocoa Beach area, maybe seeing a couple more of those storms as they pop up and then kind of move as we head through the rest of the evening. So that's our current radar. Let's take a look at what's in store for the rest of the overnight tonight and over the next couple of days. Again, seeing those storms kind of pop up, splash dash storms, very quick, very easy, nowhere near as widespread as what we saw in the past couple of days. Taking a look through the rest of the overnight tonight, still seeing a couple of scattered showers, but again, nothing too crazy as we head through the overnight tonight. Taking a look at tomorrow, though, things are going to be changing a little bit. So we're going to see another wave of moisture kind of push over the region. Could be leading to a soggy commute for some, but I think the majority of folks are going to be staying dry until the afternoon and evening when we start to see those sea breezes collide. So what we're seeing right here, again, 2 p.m. starting to see those storms pick up. A little bit more widespread than what we are going to be seeing today. And again, most of those storms popping up right along I-4 and then pushing southwards down to the Space Coast as we take a look through tomorrow night. But what we could be seeing, especially through tomorrow, are those storms kind of lingering later on as we head through your Thursday afternoon and evening. So I know, Garrett, you play softball, might be a little bit soggy. Heads up.
Okay, well, we got a doubleheader tonight.
Oh, it's tonight?
Yeah, I've got a doubleheader tonight.
Okay,
so
you'll be fine tonight.
I think we'll be fine tonight. I know Johnny has a game tomorrow.
You
so
have the game
he's
tomorrow.
the one who's going to be maybe dodging those showers.
Yeah, you might want to get like one of those like little umbrella hats to maybe stay dry a little bit more.
Okay, that's probably not a bad idea this time of year, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we're going to be maybe seeing those storms linger a little bit later on for Thursday. So if you do have any like outdoor plans, maybe grabbing like a late dinner, that's going to be probably one of the little bit of drawbacks, especially if you're south of the I-4 corridor. That's going to be kind of the sweet spot of where we're seeing those storms pick up. And then just with the flow that we're in, just seeing those storms kind of move down to the southeast.
But as much of a kind of a bummer as the holiday weekend was weather-wise,
Yes.
this weekend is looking a little bit better.
Looking a little bit better. So if you're kind of pushed those plans off a weekend, things are actually going to be looking pretty decent out there, Garrett. So look, almost a little bit of Mother Nature saying, I'm sorry, I kind of brought in a good amount of moisture for Labor Day weekend, maybe put a little bit of a soggy note on your weekend. Let me make up for it. So overall, we're going to be seeing about a 60% rain chance on Saturday. A little bit more soggy, but Sunday, though, pretty much a golden day. A couple of very scattered showers, very similar pattern that we're going to be in on Sunday of what we're seeing today. So if you do have any outdoor plans, things are looking good.
That is certainly nice to see, because I know that that rain was not necessary, and it wasn't even just the rain. It was how cloudy it was
Yes.
too. You know, we didn't have as much of the sun as we would have liked to have seen.
It was so deceiving sunshine too, because I was outside, I took the dog for a walk, I still got sunburned.
Yep.
Even though it was super cloudy out there on Saturday. Yeah,
Saturday.
no, I have tan lines that I'm not very proud of.
Well, just another reason that you got to be ready for everything. I mean, that is crazy that the sun can be that strong here, because even when it doesn't feel like you're getting burned, you still can be.
Yes, and yeah, I know. It was again that kind of almost deceiving hot, where it was like, okay, yeah, it was cloudy, it was rainy, but then it was still muggy and warm after the fact. That's pretty much going to be the trend for the next couple of days. So I promise that tangent does have a reason, because that's what it's going to be like for your Thursday and your Friday. Those rain chances nowhere near as soggy as what we did see Labor Day weekend, though. Very splash and dash storms, and again, if you're along the I-4 corridor, south of the I-4 corridor, you're probably going to be seeing a good amount of that rain. North of the I-4 corridor, still seeing those very scattered showers through the end of the work week, but it's mainly going to be south of the I-4 corridor where we're going to be seeing those bigger rain chances. Sunday, not too bad if you do have a pick of the weekend. Sunday is the day to go, and then we kind of fall back into that very typical sea breeze collision. Thunderstorms slowly start to die down by the end of the evening. Taking a look Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week.
All right, Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist Laurel Blanchard, we appreciate you joining us.
Thanks, Garrett. Always a pleasure.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
watching Fox 35 News Plus, streaming on Fox Local.
Welcome back into Fox 35 News Plus, and here is a live look at the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. Earlier today, Senator Rick Scott, a Republican from Florida, who is the chair of the U.S. Senate Special Committee on Aging, helped to lead a committee hearing looking specifically at protecting older workers. They said protecting them from discrimination, trying to level the playing field when it comes to older workers in the workplace. And I want to play for you some of his remarks. As we also heard some testimony from the AARP and some other officials speaking about this issue and why they say it is so pressing in workplaces across the country.
First off, thanks everybody for being here. We've gathered to discuss a very important topic, not just for our aging community, but also for generations planning for retirement and for those who won't be retiring for several decades. Today's hearing will focus on the value of our older Americans in the workplace, what we can do as elected officials to help protect and foster a purpose-filled life for our aging constituents. I look forward to a discussion today on how we fight against age discrimination by highlighting the positive impact of older Americans' engagement in their communities, and how aging Americans who remain engaged create benefits for themselves and our economy. I want to be clear about something. Age discrimination is clearly wrong. It's stupid. I built businesses. I can tell you that looking at someone's age instead of the value they bring to an organization absolutely makes zero sense. You can't run a business or government that way, and we need to make sure it's not happening to any American senior. Work provides purpose, fulfillment. These are powerful forces that enrich families, strengthen communities, and support the health and longevity of our nation and its people. Having a purpose is an essential part of the American dream and has long been an indicator of both mental and physical well-being across all age groups. Research shows that older adults who remain engaged experience greater physical health, mental resilience, and life satisfaction. Employing older Americans is good for business, too, because these folks have years of wisdom, the ability to mentor the next generation of leaders, and a valuable perspective on issues leaders in business and government face each and every day. To be clear, not every older American wants to stay in the workforce. Finding purpose will be different for each person. For some, it will be taking a class or a course to explore an area of interest, volunteering in the community, or dedicating time to pursue a new hobby. But for many seniors, purpose will be found in continuing to work in some capacity. This could be in their previous business as a new part-time employee, a place they enjoy frequently, or even branching out and starting something new. We need to make sure Americans of all ages have the opportunity to work and pursue their dreams by stopping age discrimination and removing the red tape and barriers that hamper or discourage older Americans from continuing to work or starting a new business or career. We did this in Florida when I was governor. We cut taxes. By cutting taxes and costly and unnecessary regulations, we managed to turn the economy around, making it a beacon for businesses and those wanting a full and purposeful life. During my years as governor, we cut taxes more than 100 times and slashed more than 5,000 burdensome regulations. We cut the time it took to get your license or permit from the state of Florida from weeks to days. Florida businesses added 1.7 million jobs. We paid down over $10 billion of debt. We increased the efficiency of government to provide additional services for our citizens and our state, including for our seniors. And as a result, many seniors moved to Florida because there's clearly better business opportunities there. Because of these policies, Florida is well known as the place that thousands of retirees flock to each and every year, escaping less financially hospitable climates, some to retire, some to start businesses. In Florida, their dollars go farther, and they have communities and opportunities to experience connection and fulfillment without the fear of age discrimination. I want to thank my colleague, Ranking Member Ghislaine, for a focus on this important topic, and look forward to a productive and meaningful conversation. So I think you're going to go.
Thank you,
Chair. As Senator Rick Scott speaking earlier in that Senate Aging Committee hearing, talking about protecting older workers. We're going to take a break here on Fox 35 News Plus, but we'll be right back.
watching Fox 35 News Plus, streaming on Fox Local.
Welcome back into Fox 35 News Plus. I'm Garrett Wymer, and thanks for joining us on this Wednesday afternoon, live on Fox Local and on YouTube. Big news today from the governor's news conference earlier today in Hillsborough County, where he and the Florida Surgeon General announced plans to push to get rid of vaccine mandates in the state, which would include getting rid of school vaccine requirements. Fox 35's Randy Hildreth joins me live now via Zoom. And Randy, what do we know about this and kind of what that would look like, what that would mean?
Well, one, the announcement, as you mentioned, was made today at a news conference. Florida Surgeon General Joseph Ladapo spoke about this. You see him on your screen. He announced it today, but it doesn't mean that it is effective immediately. And so next steps, he mentioned during the news conference, now having to work with state lawmakers to go review Florida statute that requires students to get certain immunizations for school, and working with state lawmakers to then walk this back. So big news today. Doesn't necessarily mean anything will change by tomorrow, but this is the first step in this process that they are trying to undertake to end all vaccine mandates in the state of Florida.
What is the response to this? Are we hearing any reaction from folks?
We have gotten quite a lot of reaction today at the news conference after this announcement was made. The audience applauded. People were standing and clapping at this announcement. When I started to speak with people in the community, mixed bag in terms of parents, community members. I was out at one of the parks today, just kind of gauging people's thoughts about this. I spoke with some community members, parents, who said that they agree with the announcement today, with the decision to roll this back moving forward. But on the flip side, there was also a lot of hesitation by some parents. I spoke with one dad who was at the park today with his young son, not quite ready to enter elementary school yet. But he talked about his young child does have vaccinations right now, and when he thinks ahead to enrolling him in elementary school soon, he is concerned about other students not having vaccinations and what that means in terms of protecting the majority of students, most students, a large population of students at the school from diseases, sicknesses, illnesses. Now, right now, and just to give additional context, parents can apply to or fill out paperwork to not allow their child to get vaccinations. They have medical exemptions, religious exemptions. So that is already in place in the state of Florida. With this vaccine mandate, if it moves forward, that would be a moot point. They wouldn't have to do that anymore because that would no longer be a requirement. In addition to reaction from parents today, I have also been hearing from state education leaders, also national and local medical leaders with the, the American Association of Pediatrics released a statement from the national level and their local chapter, saying that they are very concerned about today's announcement and what this would mean moving forward. Florida's teachers union also expressed the same concerns about what this means for protecting students and teachers and staff at schools if they ultimately are able to walk this back.
It's going to be an interesting debate, I think, to watch as things move forward. We also heard from David Jolly, who is a former Republican running for governor as a Democrat, calling on the governor to fire Surgeon General Dr. Ladapo after this announcement today. So it is certainly something that we're going to have to continue to watch. And Fox 35's Randy Hildreth, we appreciate you joining and breaking that down for us today.
Absolutely.
We are also tracking a story out of Seminole County where a woman who was involved in a crash is now searching for the Good Samaritan who helped her out. Fox 35's Hannah McKenzie joins us live now via Zoom. And Hannah, you had the chance to speak to this woman who's trying to track this person down.
Garrett, this is quite a cool story. We get a lot of stories, but this one seems like a fun one. So this woman, Regina Suarez, was involved in a crash yesterday morning just after 6 a.m. She was heading to work, and her commute took a turn for the worse. That's her car there, smashed to smithereens. That front end just crumpled. So this was on US 1792 and Ronald Reagan. She was making a left-hand turn. Another car basically hit her head on. There's the truck right there. So here's the good part in all of this. Everyone was okay for the most part. Regina did suffer a fractured wrist. but she was stuck inside the car. She said she was frantic. She was panicking. She didn't know what to do until she heard the voice of a stranger. That stranger, all we know is his name is TJ. We know nothing more. And Regina wants to track him down. She said he made her feel so comfortable. He had nothing to do with the crash. He just saw what happened, rushed over, and he wanted to help out where he could. And he really helped Regina. He got her out of the car. He got her into his truck to kind of calm her down until first responders arrived. He got all of her things that she needed for the day out of her car. She was complaining that her wrist was hurting, and he noticed that her fingers were swelling. So he advised her to take off her rings and her jewelry because things were quickly swelling where her wrist had been fractured, Garrett. But she was just so thankful for all of his help. She's asking the community to help her track TJ down. So this is the difficult part, but as you guys all know, the power of social media and media in general is very strong. So we know TJ drives a white truck, some sort of older model white truck. He is a white male, believed to be in his 30s. He has reddish brown hair and a beard. He's tall-ish, says Regina. And he also has a tattoo on his right forearm, because one of the photos she actually snapped of her wrecked car, his arm can just be seen right in the corner of that photo. So that's how she was able to remember that he had that tattoo on his right forearm. So Garrett, she's asking, can the internet and our viewers do their work, do their sleuthing, find out who TJ is, because she wants to get in contact with him. She wants to thank him. She said, I don't know if he's going to want a gift card or he wants a dinner at my house, but I will cook for you because you are now part of my family.
Certainly a guardian angel, it seems like, looking out for her in the right place at the right time. And what did she say that would mean to her to be able to kind of reunite with TJ and be able to thank him?
Well, she called him an angel, Garrett. She was like, TJ is my angel. He was there when I needed him most. He was by my side. He did not leave me until she got loaded up into the back of an ambulance and taken to the hospital. She said it would mean the world to her. And like she said in my story that you're going to see at 5, he is now a member of her family, and she just wants to find him. So if you guys know who this TJ is, you can email us at fox35news@fox.com. So if you have a hint or you might know who he is, go ahead and send us an email. Let us know. We're going to try to have a reunion and make sure this one has a great outcome.
That would be a great follow-up to see. So internet, time for you to do your thing. Fox 35's Hannah McKenzie, we appreciate you bringing that story to us.
Thanks, Garrett.
We're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
You're watching Fox 35 News Plus, streaming on Fox Local.
Welcome back into Fox 35 News Plus. I'm Garrett Wymer, and thanks for joining us. It was quite the welcome to Volusia County for a fraud suspect extradited here to Florida to face criminal charges. Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood greeted that suspect, 56-year-old Corey Ray Woodall of Oxford, North Carolina. He is charged with an organized scheme to defraud and grand theft. Now, the victim in this case is 70 years old. According to investigators, she had responded to an email about a wounded military dog, ended up sending $60,000, including $30,000 in cash that she thought was helping a retired Army general get back to the United States. Instead, it was used to buy a car, a lawnmower, and a trailer. That victim was with Sheriff Chitwood as they confronted the suspect when he arrived back after being extradited.
Sheriff Chitwood, I'm the one that arranged your trip back here. This is the young lady whose $30,000 you took and bought the car and the lawnmower and everything. And I'm looking in her face, how's that make you feel?
I feel bad already. I feel bad.
You're not looking at me.
I felt bad when it happened.
You didn't feel that bad. You spent $30,000 that she sent you. So.
How many other people did you spend their money?
None. That's the only money I got.
But yet, your roommate, from what I understand, is laundering all kind of money from the investigation that's going on up in North Carolina. So this isn't like something out of the clear blue sky.
My girlfriend,
yeah.
The scammer got her too.
Ah, the scammer. But guess what? You're going to a place right now. It's loaded with people trying to scam the scam. You'll be in good company over there. Anything else?
So what did you spend my money on?
Bought a utility trailer, a lawnmower.
What kind of car did you buy?
What car did you buy?
23 Hyundai car.
I hope you enjoyed it while you had it.
What happened to the rest of her stuff that she sent? Where'd the rest of that stuff go? To Bitcoin? Where did that get transferred to?
It's only Bitcoin.
You didn't touch the Bitcoin, just the cash?
Ryan Dakota kept saying he was sending me the money, send me the money, send me the money. So I thought he was sending me the money.
Even though her name was on the return address, you would spend it before contacting her and saying, or going to law enforcement with that money on you and saying, hey, I got $30,000 in the mail. Something's not right.
How did you hook up with this guy?
Through my girlfriend. She been talking to him 2.5 years.
How did she hook up with him?
Facebook.
Just so you know, you have no bond, so you ain't getting out anytime soon. Because when you defraud my residents here, we take that really, really serious, and so does the judges. So we bring everybody back, because this isn't right. This woman has spent her entire life working and caring for people. She's going to get her money back? Well, I wish that were true.
Well, I'm going to tell the judge to demand you give me my money back, and I don't care if it comes $1 a week. You're going to pay me back.
All right, well, the detectives want to talk to you, and I hope you enjoy your stay at the happiest place on earth, right there.
56-year-old Corey Woodall confronted by the sheriff and the victim in this case. And Fox 35's Marie Ettinger had this chance earlier to speak with Sheriff Chitwood more about this.
Let me back up. Here's what happens. She gets an email, and the email's about a dog that was wounded, a military dog that was wounded. And she begins communicating with that person. That person then identifies themselves as a 4-star general and needs money to get back to the United States. And that's how the communication begins. And he starts sending pictures of himself in uniform, of him in theater. Well, the guy just retired from the military in 2024. So whatever's out there in social media, he's sending it to her. She's sending pictures back and forth. She thinks they're going to strike up this relationship, and he needs to get home. So she sends he directs her to send $30,000 in cash to a address in North Carolina. And our hero, the guy we lock up yesterday, he gets the $30,000 in cash and goes out and buys a car, a lawnmower, and a trailer to pull the lawnmower. Now, the envelope is clearly, her return address is marked on it. He then gets slick and tries to report to the sheriff's office up there, hey, I just want to let you guys know, should something happen, I got $30,000 in the mail, and I went out and spent it, but I didn't ask for it, it just happened to come to my house. So this is what I did. So I think that was his motive to cover his tracks. But the sheriff's office informs us that his girlfriend, they're got an active investigation on her for money laundering, because there's a bunch of money coming out to her into her account, and it's going all over the place. And that's where we find that her money, the Bitcoin and all, had passed through her account as well. He has refused to cooperate with us. Why they haven't got a search warrant in North Carolina for his computer and see what kind of emails are being sent and everything, I have no idea. But we've had probable cause. Clearly, he took $30,000 of this woman's money. He knew it wasn't his. He had no intention of returning it. So, he's obviously being held on no bond. That'll change because I have some liberal judges down here, one named Judge Dempsey, whose husband is a defense attorney, go figure. The last group we brought in from California, they had responsible for $19 million in fraud, $500,000 here in Volusia County, $2.7 million. We were able to track back to a woman in Washington, D.C. who thought she was purchasing a condo down here through this company. And when we make the arrest, the judge says, $1 million bond is excessive. These people have $19 million that they stole that we can't account for. And she lowers the bond to $350,000, which means you have to push $35,000 out the door, back to California they go.
The method of payment seems like that alone is kind of suspicious. I mean, if you talk about that, because you see people get kind of worked up by the emails and saying you're helping me out, get back to the United States, so forth. But the fact that he was asking for that kind of specific method of payment seems suspicious.
Yeah, exactly. And for her, it was a mixture. It was send cash to the North Carolina address and then send the Bitcoin and the gift cards to do something completely different with. And, I think that one of the things that we talk about is when you look at our victims in this, especially our senior victims, they have one thing in common. They are alone. They're lonely. They don't have anybody but that computer. And they sit there for hours and hours on end, all through the day and night, and then they strike up a conversation, and the next day pictures are being exchanged, and they believe they have now found a friend. And these people are good. I mean, they're good. They're good at their craft, and they could make you believe that the moon is blue if you really sat there and listened to them. And for some of our seniors, that's the trap they fall into. And the next thing you know, they wake up and it's like, oh my God. In the case of our victim in this case, she had to go back to work. I mean, she was a registered nurse. She had to go back to work part-time because that $60,000 was her nest egg. That was her fallback money. So, and again, when you look in the eyes of these scumbags that come in here, that we bring back here, and you think, how could you do this? You're a soulless individual, but yet they're going to continue going on with it. And we're working on one right now. Thank God the woman didn't know what she was doing with the crypto, and the thing didn't go through. It's like $2,500. She didn't know what she was doing, and it bounced back, so she didn't lose any money. So we're working on that to see where that comes from. But one of the things we're blessed with is, for years I was running the deficit. I just did not have the manpower to do what I wanted to do, and that was the two F's are big for us: fentanyl and fraud. We were able to start a fraud unit. I have a sergeant and 5 detectives. They've been trained by the Secret Service. They've been trained by Homeland Security. They've been trained by the banks, bank investigators, bank examiners. So what they do is they go after the money first. They're not worried about the scammer. Let's go after the money. Let's seize the money. Whether it's crypto, whether the money's been put in an Apple Wallet, or whatever it is, they seize the money. And then they work backwards from there. They just got a seizure order today for $72,000 for one of our victims. $72,000 is sitting in a wallet. It is seized. It can't move. Now the question is, how do we get it back and then work backwards and try to go after the people that are responsible for it? But I mean, you come after one of my seniors, I'm coming after you. You're going to get purple. We're going to come and get your ass, and we're dragging you back here. I don't care what Judge Dempsey or her ilk judges want to do and lower bond. Because if it was her mother, she'd be blowing my phone up saying, what are you doing to help my mother out? Well, you got to think these are somebody's mothers that are being scammed, and some of these judges need to understand they've lost everything. They've lost everything to a scammer. So why not at least give them the sense of justice and let them know that we care. They know we care, that the judges are going to do the right thing here.
We'll be right back here on Fox 35 News Plus.
You're watching Fox 35 News Plus, streaming on Fox Local.
Welcome back into Fox 35 News Plus. I'm Garrett Wymer, and thanks for joining us on this Wednesday afternoon. Today, AAA and UCF announced the launch of a new statewide safety initiative. They're calling it Safe Streets for Small Wheels, and this is addressing what they're saying is a growing risks when it comes to traffic safety because of electric bikes and e-scooters as well, specifically on college campuses, but also on city streets and in neighborhoods. And so this effort is hoping to promote road sharing practices across Florida and to make the situation safer. And among the people we heard from at this news conference earlier today was Hunter Lanford, who was actually hit while riding his bike on the first day of school. He and his mother spoke at this news conference earlier today.
As a bike riding family, we did wear our helmet. We do practice that. And because of that, my son is alive. And so I do want to emphasize the importance of wearing a helmet. As you see over here, the helmet was devastated. And we can't even imagine what it would have been like if our son wasn't wearing the helmet. So if there's anything I can pass to you as a mother, one thing that I had done was have baskets of helmets around the home. You know, there's not one in just one area, but we keep baskets of helmets everywhere. This was a Walmart helmet, and it looks like it's just a little piece of foam, but it will save your life. And I cannot stress that enough. We see it every day. Nobody's wearing helmets. So saying that, we want to thank the doctors, we want to thank the law enforcement, the pedestrians that helped our son in his time. But I want you to hear the scary moment from my son, because he encountered it and he understood the importance of those safety lessons that we have taught him since he was a little child. And he followed them. You know, half of it's teaching your kids, but the other half is that they actually follow it and understand the importance. So I'm going to pass it to my son. Hopefully you can hear Hunter. He's here today because he understands this is to save a life. He doesn't necessarily always want to get out of bed, but he understands the importance of being here today. And he wanted to be here. Hunter, you go ahead and tell your story the way that you want to tell your story. How did it feel when you were riding your bike? Story, what happened when you were on your way to school?
Well, I mean, to be in that situation was really traumatizing for me. And if it wasn't for my helmet, if it wasn't for that piece of foam, I would not be here right now. I don't know what I would do without that helmet. And I mean, to be trapped under a car was the most traumatizing experience for me. But at least knowing that me speaking right now might help save a life, and I'm glad that me speaking might save a life. So all I really have to say is please wear a helmet, and please be careful and be safe. That's all I really have to say.
Hunter, can you walk us through what happened on that day?
I was going through a sidewalk, and I was basically on the sidewalk when the lady hit me. I don't think she was looking at me, but I thought she was looking at me. So I decided to go through with it because it was my right to go, and she did not stop. She did not see me, according to her. So I was hit and I was dragged 15 feet. And thank God for all the people that were there. I mean, a tow truck lifted the car off of me. I'm very thankful for that. And all the pedestrians that were there to at least talk me through the pain I was very thankful for that. and for all the police officers who were there. I'm very thankful for all of them.
So why were you taking the sidewalk was there a bike route on the highway, or did you go behind to get onto the crosswalk area? Why were you in the crosswalk? Why did you take that route?
Why I took that route was, one, there's on Howland there's no bike lane, and two, I thought it was the safest way to go. I do not want to go on the road because I don't think that's the safest way to go on. So I went on the sidewalk because I thought it was the safest.
And did you stop?
Yes, I did stop.
And were you engaging in your e-bike, or how do you normally ride your e-bike?
Well, how I ride my e-bike is I do pedal a lot, but I do use when the accident happened, I was using the e-bike feature to assist me in pedaling. So I was not pedaling when I got hit.
A scary situation described by that young man. Certainly glad he is okay. And this is a new effort trying to make things safer and promote road sharing across Florida when it comes to specifically those e-bikes and e-scooters that you're seeing more and more of across Florida. You see them every day, and certainly something you need to be aware of as we drive, to watch for folks on those, and also watch for pedestrians and anyone else who may be walking along the sidewalks, might be on the crosswalks or on the side of the road as well. Well, we appreciate you joining us here on Fox 35 News Plus today. Going to send things out to Studio A, where we're getting ready for the start of Fox 35 News at 5, which begins in about 30 seconds right here on Fox Local, so keep it here, and then I will be back at 11 a.m. with more Fox 35 News Plus here on Fox Local and on YouTube. But again, the news continues next, so keep it right here on Fox Local, and have a great evening.